There is this widow in the Bible that came to a prophet called Elisha. And the widow said, "Look, since my husband died, he was owing some people, and now they're going to take away my two sons to become slaves." She was devastated. She had lost her husband, but now she's about to lose her two children. So it was a critical situation for them financially. But when she came, and Elisha asked her a question, and that is what I really want to encourage you and I about. Elisha said, "What do you have at home?" And she said, "I have nothing." But then she added a phrase, "except a jar of oil." And Elisha said, "Okay, that jar of oil, when you get home, borrow a lot of vessels from your neighbors." He said, "Go borrowing vessels, like containers all around." And he says, when you've gotten all the containers, take them inside your house. He says, shut the door behind you, and then begin to pour that oil, that jar of oil that you have, pour it into all the containers. And guess what happened? The oil multiplied, and let's say the woman became an oil merchant. She sold the oil, and she was able to pay the creditors of her husband. Where I'm going to is that sometimes we look at ourselves and we are like, I have nothing to offer, but we do have something. We do have something. We have that jar of oil, something that we don't really consider it to be significant. We just feel like, so you may have this gift, you may have this talent, you may have something that you can offer to the world, but because you look down on yourself, you look down on that gift, you don't see the potential of your writing gift, your speaking ability, so many things, your singing ability, something that you can do that can be a blessing. And it's not necessarily about you making money from it, at first. Like, you just want to be a blessing to people. You want to put your gift to use. I remember Paul telling Timothy that don't neglect the gift, that gift that is in you. So I just want to encourage you out there that you fan the flames, that jar of oil, that idea that you have, that talent, that gifts that you have. Don't bury it. We are supposed to be a solution. We're supposed to be a light. We're supposed to be a salt of the earth. We're supposed to give light. Jesus said in Matthew 5 verse 14, says, "You are the light of the world." He said, "You are a city that is set on a hill." And it says that no one lights a candle and puts it under a bushel. He said, but they put it on a candlestick so it can give light to everyone in the house. So what are you doing about your gifts? And if you're already using your gift to be a blessing and even to earn some income, continue to do so. Continue to put it to practice. Continue to use that talent. But the dangerous thing we shouldn't ever do, like we shouldn't do to ourselves, is like looking down on that talent that we have. So that's the jar of oil that the widow was talking about. He said, I don't have anything. It's just this jar of oil that I have at home, which I don't think can help me in this situation, prophet. And the prophet said, that is exactly. So God is willing to breathe upon that little thing that you have. Is willing to multiply that little thing that you have. If you and I will start seeing from God's perspective, if we are ready to put in the work, we are ready to pray, we're ready to develop our skills, we're ready to stretch sometimes we need to stretch sometimes you need to go. Like that woman, she had to go with her sons, I can imagine. They had to go borrowing containers, in different places. And they had to do a lot of work, even pouring the oil into all the containers. I don't know how many containers they got. Maybe it was up to 100 containers or 200 or 1,000 containers. I don't know how many. But I just see that it's just interesting what can happen, what God can do. Like that little thing, that little gift, something that we consider to be something very little, God can multiply the impact and influence of that thing into the lives of so many people. So many containers, so many lives can be blessed through you and I. All right, so just thought to share that. I hope it actually makes sense to somebody. I hope this inspires someone to be encouraged, no matter what. Sometimes, let me just add this before I wrap this up. Sometimes you are actually, trying your best. You are trying to develop your skills. You're trying to make put your talent to use. And sometimes it might look like you're not making any impact, but guess what? I want you to know that you should not give up. Just continue to do what you're doing. Continue to do what God has put on your heart to do. Continue to use your skills. Continue to use your talent. Just continue in it. You might not know exactly how much impact, how much positive influence that you are actually having on people. All right. God bless you. Bye for now. See you in the next video.